Come on in, turn your cameras on, and let's get to the coaching segment. Hey, David. Hey, John.
Good afternoon.
Nate, your page for today. There you go. It's good to see. All right, Sarah, you've got the whole list. Michelle, I believe you get to go first today. So we're going to do 15 minutes each. Hopefully, we've each got different marketing segments to coach on, and hopefully each of us has got different problems so we can learn from each other's challenges as well. So Michelle, give us the 30-second rundown of which area it is that you want us to focus in on, and we'll get to that.
All right, good morning. Good morning. Right, from Australia, that is. Good morning in Australia.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a teacher trainer program. I launched it a year ago. I have a very well-known transformational business in Australia. The coaching I was having as an internal program, as an upscale from people that were coming into my 5-phase transformational process. The numbers and the conversions just aren't enough. I also have an up level to a mastery program. So I want to bring the teacher trainer program forward now, recreate a new funnel, but I also want to create quality facilitators. We're deciding whether to make it a 6 or a 12-month model. And yeah, I have a gentleman over here called Ethan Donati who's doing my marketing, my front-end marketing. He's pretty fantastic. Just brought out David Goggins, Gary V. So he's really on the marketing front, but want to create the back end. And target.
So give me the very specific marketing challenge that's sitting in front of you right now.
The presentation model, how to bring it from the back end of my business to really leverage the numbers. I really want to get the numbers through. And what is the best scalability model for me to do that?
Okay, so from a marketing perspective, are you looking at a closed audience? In other words, a list of all of the teachers that you want to go to, or are you looking at attracting teachers to connect to you? Because they're two different styles of marketing.
Well, this is where I'm at. Can I do both?
You can most definitely do both. Obviously, though, that's going to require double the amount of work to do both. So if in any particular business you have a closed audience, like, you could within Australia buy the list of every teacher that is in the country and just direct market to every teacher in the country and gradually work your way through that list. The other way then is to say, okay, who's looking for me? So how many teachers would you be capable of putting through that training program on a regular basis?
Yeah, this is again the scalability. If I scale it right down, 20 as it is at the moment at a time, which doesn't feel like the number.
Let's start there, because that's if that's what you can handle now, you've got to start with the 20 that you can handle type.
Sure.
If I'm looking to sell 20 per how often?
Well, this is 6 months or 12 months, but I'm thinking about bringing it down to 6 months. So it'll be 40 a year. Okay,
so with 40 a year, what is the Google search that people would be looking for on you? So the first thing I'd do is see how many people are searching that subject first and foremost.
Right.
And so the Google Analytics will give you all of your numbers of what the searches are. And then if you go in and start looking, you'll find many different ways. On your website currently, what is your, how many articles do you have in your blogs at this point?
At this point, there's probably about 30 or 40. I'm just about to relaunch a new website, and there'll be probably up to 100.
So, Gona, what is the name of that software that does the blog writing analysis?
Writer.
Say that again.
Neuron Writer.
Neuron Writer. Could you just put that in the chat window for everyone, please? So when you're writing blogs today, because if I'm right, Michelle, I'm guessing that there will be enough teachers searching for things similar to what you're looking for you to not need to go out to them. There will be enough looking for what you're doing that they will be able to come to you. Okay, so it's a matter of creating now the blogs that will attract them to you. So if you go into there's the software, going and just put it up there. If you go into Neuron Writer, essentially what it does is it'll break down your blog post and give it a score out of 100. It will also compare that subject with every competitor of yours and tell you exactly what score their articles or their things are getting for them. So like Gona was showing me one yesterday, the competitors got I think the highest competitor score was a 58. And you just added the graphic. What did your score get as a blog article? An 80 something this morning? So she's in an 80. So that article on that subject, we're going to beat the Gary V's, Tony Robbins, all of those sorts of people. We will beat them on that subject because we have the FAQs, because. You know, so actually how you write your blogs today determines whether they find you. Now, you can cheat a lot on your blogs today. It will give you the structure. It'll give you the headlines. The way we do a lot of our blogs and a lot of our things is, first of all, I'll do a video. So from a content point of view, I create a video. You create, and so we do straight videos for me in the car. We do videos that are pre-programmed, like I'll actually teach it to a camera, and we do podcasts. So those podcasts, now we take that and the podcast software will give us a short article. Gona takes that to Neuron Writer. Then Neuron Writer will rate that and say, okay, this one sucks. It's not good enough. So she'll go over to AI, Chat GPT, and say, include these keywords and expand this to this many words. And so Chat GPT then expands it. You put it back in there. Neuron goes, hey, that's much better. Congratulations. Well done. Then you go. And so you create these blogs that then people will find you on. Okay. So that's, and so the biggest thing is doing your research around what are the most researched subjects so that they will actually be able to find you on the subjects that relate to buying your product or your program or your service. Okay. So now your product, if you take a look at the three main motivators in marketing, there's the head. I mean, I'll be very blunt here. There's the head, the heart, and the groin. Okay, so your product is a head and heart product, right? So when you look at the heartstrings, you've got to appeal to those teachers of doing better with their kids, you've really got to pull on the heartstrings of how much they will help the kids. And see, a lot of people, when they define their product, they don't define their product as is it head, heart, or groin marketing type thing. You know, the head is very much what you're trying to do. It's, you know, like for me, I sell 3 products, right, on my Brad Sugars thing. So business is a head product, right? It's anyone buying the business training. It's all about their knowledge, their head. It's a business decision. The life product is a heart decision, you know, have better relationships and feel better about yourself. And it's the real heart product. And the wealth is the real groin product. It's the, whoa, you're the big man, you know, look at you. Now that you've got that rich house, you're going to go out there and find a better mate and all of that sort of stuff. So if you look at marketing from those 3 points, you've really got to target those top 2 and say, these are the ones that are going to do it. And keep at it from that angle. Like if I was looking at a blog article for, I'll give you an example. So in my wife's business, she just sold it, but in her business, it was doing birthday parties for kids. So she would do articles basically that were along the lines of best birthday party ideas for kids in Las Vegas type thing, you know, the 7 best of this and all of that sort of stuff. And so, of course, hers was one of the 7 best. But that philosophy of having them find you, Michelle, is where I would start. I wouldn't bother going to do mass marketing for 40 of them, but in the beginning, and so it's kind of like, if you look at business from the perspective or marketing from the perspective of if you build that right product, that right brand, they find you. Otherwise, you've got to do a lot of sales. Right? If you've got a lot of stuff, if you've got a lot of things where they can find you, and every article is just another billboard. But in this day and age, you know, historically on blogs, people would go to content writers and get, you know, 50 blog articles done and put up 50 blog articles. In this day and age, you're better off to do 2 great articles a week than you are to do one average article per day. Thanks, Sarah. Or go to whoever's silent. But that's sort of where I would be aiming to push them. Now, in looking at the actual product and the purchasing, and you're saying, 6 or 12 months, teachers are an interesting creature. And when you put this up on the website the other day, I thought, it's an interesting one because it's really about the certificate that they get. Okay, so can you break it into 2 6-month ones and give them 2 certificates? Can you break it into 4 3-month ones and give them 4 certificates? A level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, so that there's multi-certificates for them and they get to put more on their resume. Because when they apply for another thing, it's what can you put on their resume that is a big sales point for what you're doing. And having those certification, see, if I look at the way the world shifted, franchising, licensing, and certification in education fields, right? We love franchising, but in the education space now, I'm finding certification is a much easier sell. It's a much easier purchase. We've done a lot of things where, from a marketing perspective, we've made the buying decision much simpler. So that 12-month one is a massive decision for someone. A 12-week program is a very easy decision for someone. So think that through as well, as to how do you make that decision easier with that. But I would definitely do your research, take a look at, you've probably seen me recommend historically They Ask, You Answer by Marcus Sheridan. His podcast, if you go on my YouTube or on my website, his podcast with me, he's probably the best around content creation. And the book, he learned it from a book called Utility, Y-O-U-Tility. That's where he talks about his first learnings from it. And utility is good because it gives you the history of, like, it's way back when the internet first went to this whole, are you adding enough value online sort of thing.
Okay, great.
And if you're, and then just remind yourself though, that there's really 3 modalities that you want to offer information on to get people to connect with you. And that's where my book, Raise Your Hand Marketing. In fact, you maybe could you get Michelle details of my 2-day, I'm doing a 2-day marketing workshop on this exact subject in a few weeks' time. I'm only doing it for like a few people because I want to record it. So I need a live audience to record it. So I think it's only a couple of grand each person. But if you wanted to, Gona can get you the information on that one. But the point of Raise Your Hand is looking at what are the different methodologies via which people raise their hand. So if you look at teachers, and I did the survey in the BIT group the other day, I'm not sure if you saw it, people's #1 desire to consume content today is video. Video is the #1 desired most form of content. #2 most desired is an ebook. So ebooks are that thing. And a lot of people create video. Now, to take your video today, you can literally take a video and turn it into an ebook by AI. You say, okay, take this video and turn it into an ebook. You take the transcription, so you transcribe it, which is, again, AI done. Transcribe the thing, put it into an ebook, and then you can have it available. And all that you've got to do then is jump on Canva and make sure you get a good looking cover. It's got to look like a book, it can't just look like I guess for teachers, you do a white paper. Accountants, one of our businesses markets to accountants. We use white papers for them because accountants are boring as shit. They don't need graphics. It's just, it's funny, they react to a white paper better. So does that give you a good starting point for where I would go with getting that done?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Brad. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
Perfect. All right, Sarah, who's up next on the list?
Next up will be Rich Cadden.
Rich. Oh,
Sorry.
Cadden.
Cadden. Hi, Brad.
G'day. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Excellent. Now, remind me, let me reread your point. Tell me, for all our benefit here, what's the major marketing challenge for you guys right now?
basically we're an independent martial arts gym. We're up against bigger corporate structures that have bigger advertising budgets and stuff like that. And it's how we differentiate ourselves within the market to...
Tell me your target audience, adults, kids, where are you really most targeted?
Kids and young adults.
Kids and young adults. And the kids mostly start with you what age range?
From 6 to 11.
Okay. And currently you get most of them through what marketing methodologies?
Through Facebook and Instagram. It's mainly the parents that see us on that, and then enroll the kids because of the content that we put out.
How many kids do you need? And everyone will, I want you all to notice this. The first question I always ask in marketing is how many do you need? You know, how many customers per week? So if you were to look at it on an average week, what would be the ideal number of enrolled new members for your gym?
I could take probably another 10 to 15.
So a total of 10 to 15. So how many per week would be the ideal number onboarded?
There's obviously a turnover in the kids that train and then they don't turn up to class and things like that. So probably if I had maybe like 4 a week, then...
So if you were getting 4 new a week, you'd be able to sustain that. Okay. So to get 4 sales a week, how many people currently have to connect with you for you to get 4 sales?
Well, we've got quite a large Instagram and Facebook following.
But no, hang on. How many people have to actually say, I'm interested in enrolling my son before you actually get an enrollee? What's the conversion rate?
Generally 2 to 1.
2 to 1. So you need 8 people per week contacting you, asking about enrolling their child.
Yeah.
Okay. So that, I mean, that's not a big number. Does that make sense to you?
No,
so you're looking at 2 people per day connecting with you.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. So if you were, what referral system do you have currently in place? Do you have a referral system in place?
No, but that's the first one down.
Yeah, so my book, Instant Referrals, read through it, go, because if I was looking at the numbers that you're doing, it's not really a mass market approach. It's really a very direct approach. I would be going and I would be putting on martial arts displays in shopping malls or at schools or school fairs. I would be doing some sort of a display. I'd be attending places where these kids are. You know, that would be my biggest thing, is get in front of more and more parents. Like if every week you were at an event where there were lots of kids, then every week you're getting 10 to 20 interested people.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's where I would be doing it. But from a referral standpoint, I would be looking at it. What is your current, or do you know your current cost of an acquisition of a new customer? Like, are you doing any paid marketing and therefore you know what your cost of acquisition of a new customer is or not?
No, we don't do paid marketing.
Okay. What would you be willing to pay for a new customer? Like, what is the first month's total fees with them, and how many months do they stay with you on average?
So to be on £35 a month.
Yep.
And so if I was to take that up, like, I'll be happy to go say half of that for the first month to get them into the habit of training, and then we'll obviously make that money back over the longer term.
Yeah. So if it was going to cost you 35 quid to get a customer, okay. So I would look at your referral strategy. What is something that all the kids, want in your thing? What is something where they how do they get to bring 5 of their friends to the gym with them? How do they get to do that? Like, is there a way that you have, someone could have a birthday party in the gym and bring 20 of their friends there each week? You know, like those sorts of things where it's just about exposure. If my kid was in the thing and you know, I would simply, I'd almost throw a birthday party for each of the kids that's a member just to get them to bring 20 of their friends to my gym.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, it's really about sitting down and thinking about what am I going to do to get in front of 20 kids every week for the rest of time. Marketing has to just be boiled down to the simplest thing. If you get in front of 20, 8 say I'm interested, out of the 8 that say I'm interested, 4 of them sign up, and you're done every week. But if within 5 miles of your place, there's got to be a kids event every week somewhere.
Yeah. That
you can spend 50 quid, 100 quid, get yourself a table or do a display, you put on a bit of a show, break a board, do some stupid shit that kids go, wow, I want to do that, Mum. And Mum goes, oh, great, another thing I got to drive my bloody kids to. And you get them enrolled in that way. But it's really just working yourself backwards to how do I get in front of a group of kids every single week?
Yeah.
Not once a month, not once thing, but it's got to be every week. And it's that one of the, if I was to say there's one form of marketing that works, it's consistent marketing. When people do a little bit here and then they stop and then they do a little bit and then they stop and then they do a little bit and then they stop, that doesn't work. So if every week you're in front of a group somewhere, you will be out of that gym into a bigger size gym in no time.
Would you say that like just leaflet marketing is a good idea?
No, sucks. Waste of time.
Okay. So it has to be. If
you go back to what we did with Michelle, and you do exactly what I said with Michelle, write articles. The 7 reasons why martial arts is great for kids' health and well-being. You know, the 11 ways kids who do martial arts outperform other kids at school. If you start writing blog articles, and again, do your research, and the research is not hard. Google makes it very easy for you to research what you should and shouldn't be writing about. In fact, ChatGPT would make it even easier. You know, dear ChatGPT, what are the top 10 things moms and dads search for when they're thinking of enrolling their kids in a martial arts class? Boom, it'll tell you, here's the top 10 things. You go and shove that into Google Analytics. Google Analytics says, yep, here's the exact wordings they're using. You go and write 20 blog articles. Hey, presto, mom and dads that are looking will find you. Okay.
Now, how does this differentiate from what the corporate guys are doing?
But you don't have to differentiate in your marketing. What you have to differentiate in is your experience.
Okay, yeah. See,
the experience of being with you is the difference. The experience of being in a, and that's the thing. If you think about it like going to a concert, you can go to a concert at a stadium, or you can go down to the local pub, and if you have the same quality of singer at the stadium or the local pub, which is going to be a better fun time? And it's, you've got to use your size to your advantage.
Yeah.
Now, when I was young in business coaching, people were like, oh, you're very young. I said, yeah, that gives me more flexibility. I'm not, a lot of the older guys, they're not as flexible. They're not as capable of changing and adapting to the new technologies as. They're not as. So I wouldn't see what your size is as anything but the biggest advantage that you have.
Right, yeah. So they get more one-on-one time with a legit world champion rather than someone that's in a program system.
See, where I want your business to be at is I want you to have a waiting list of people to join.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There's a book called Oversubscribed. Sarah, could you just look up who wrote that for me, please? So oversubscribed, what he does is he talks about, I guess the best example of this is kind of like a movie. You know how when they're releasing a movie, 12 months earlier, they start running bloody 5-second clips. About 6 months, they start running 30-second ads for it. A week before, they've got 3-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute, big interviews, all that sort of stuff. And then on opening day, it's like, that's how it does. And I would almost think about your gym being a bit like that. That you start a new class, like when a new class starts, you say, we're opening a new class in March, and you start selling for it now, and then boom, come March, it's already sold out before you open it type thing. Apple does it. Apple is brilliant on their products of doing that. Clothing companies do it. Car companies are amazing at it.
Would you say that this was a head, heart, or groin?
So you say, oh, this one, heart. You're a good parent if you let your kid come and do this. Shitty parents won't let their kids here. You're a bad parent if you don't get your kids in something healthy and that, you know, it's a definite heartstrings. You know, there's, you know, good moms bring their kids here, you know. Responsible parents do this sort of thing. It's definitely a, you know, it's about their health and their confidence. You know, we're going to you bring me a boy, I'll send you back a man. You bring me I'll send you home your daughter with much more confidence in herself. Yeah, it's that feeling that you've got. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So I would 100% be using some form of event-based marketing, meaning get to events where there's kids, get to places where there are kids. You can definitely do the blog articles, but I would be, for the numbers you need, it's not mass numbers, so I'd be doing it that way. Yep. All right, Rodney, you are up next. Thanks, mate.
Thank you. Hey, Brad, how are you?
All right, Rod, give us the quick rundown for everybody's benefit, and then hit the nail on the head. What's the most important thing?
So I have a kitchen manufacturing business that we fit out cabinetry and all those sort of things. Currently, we want to grow our mum and dad's side of the business. We probably need an extra 2 to 3 sales a week, and currently close about 40% of our current leads.
Excellent. Current leads are coming from where mostly right now?
Mainly from Google.
Okay, so, and is that because you've got good blogs? What's the reasoning that they're finding you?
No, I don't have any blogs on the website. That's probably one thing that we need to do.
Okay.
We just did modify the website in the last 4 weeks to add a bit of a funnel system to the front page of it.
Got it.
We have seen some better results coming through, but it's probably just also increasing the quality of the lead. So we do get some leads come through, but they're very minor jobs or repair and maintenance stuff. We want to sort of more focus on brand new kitchens, 20 to 20 sort of $5,000 mark. We are getting a lot of work in the 6-figure area, which is good. But however, though, those sort of jobs take a long time from start to finish. And to increase cash flow, we want to sort of produce a few more of those standardized sort of kitchens that we can sort of run through the factory to increase cash flow while we do those larger jobs.
Got it. So what's the average age of a home that you're doing the kitchen for?
Average age of a home is probably around about the 15-year mark.
Okay, so there are certain suburbs and certain areas where that's going to be the case, right? There's certain markets where they're all brand new. You're not going to be selling much in those areas.
Correct.
So you're going to be selling into those areas. What's the geographic, how far do you go to do your jobs? What's the biggest sort of distance that you'll go?
So we're based on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. So we travel anywhere sort of around about 100 kilometers.
Holy
generally.
shit. Jeez,
yeah.
That's a long way. Majority of the jobs, though, are closer than that, or?
Yeah, majority are. That's correct.
Right. Okay. So any other form of marketing you're doing currently that's working for you, or is it just they're finding you on Google?
It's mainly Google. 3 weeks ago, we just did our first ever trade show at the Brisbane Home Show. So that was a learning curve. But yeah, it's mainly just through Google website. And we try to post a lot of stuff on Instagram and things like that, which I think kind of feeds a little bit into the website.
Before and afters is what you're posting a lot of?
Yes. Yeah, we've just started.
Transformations. Do you by chance run video in there on the transformation? Like, do you have a time-lapse camera watching any of these?
No, we don't.
Definitely start doing that. Video beats photos all the time. People love watching that time-lapse shit. It's amazing how much of that. Instagram today is really about, an Instagram post should at minimum have two things. One is like the meme, and then you scroll across and there's the video. It's like we're almost not even putting videos as the first thing on Instagram anymore. You put up a meme and then you scroll across to watch the video rather than the other way around type thing. So just, that's why I think video is really important, buddy. Okay. All right. So if you're finding, what are they, do you know what searches are helping them find you? Do you know what the biggest search thing is?
So I think the keywords they're using is kitchens, new kitchen, Sunshine Coast, or cabinet makers. Okay. So yeah, I would 100% go back to everything I said to Michelle. You want as many blog articles around that stuff as you can. Every job can be a blog article for you. Like every job can be a before and after, multiple pictures. Blogs with more pictures get better results. They're saying 6 or more pictures is sort of the ideal number of photographs in a blog these days. Interestingly enough, an infographic or a graph or something like that is also very high in it for some strange reason at this point in time. Okay, so what's the main question that you need answered today? Probably my main thing is, what's the best way to increase the quality of the leads that we're getting? Okay,
so quality of lead really comes down to, but if you go on a Porsche website, you expect to pay a lot of money to buy the car. Does that make sense?
Yep.
If I go on your website, do I look at it and go, oh shit, they're too expensive for me, I'm just wanting a cheap, shitty kitchen? Or does your website show me something where I go, yeah, I think I can afford these guys?
I think it's at the other end. It's more of a higher end feel is the feedback we get.
Right. So it should be scaring off those who are looking at not doing those who are looking at it. One of the things Marcus Sheridan puts on in his book, and what he says about your website, is you should be very clear somewhere on your website as to what is the price point of what you're doing. A lot of people are like, I don't want to put the prices on the website. He goes into a far better explanation of that than I do. But his research is really telling. He originally did this in his swimming pool business. Now he has a boat building business and the education of the consumer. But what his research showed is the number of pages on the website that someone actually consumed told him almost his conversion rate of that potential customer. So with things like HubSpot today, you can see exactly what pages and how many pages someone consumed of your website, and therefore you know. Now here's the current numbers that are out there in the marketplace. Currently, about 40-something% of customers would like to buy things without having to deal with a salesperson. Like they prefer, like Amazon's trained them very well. All I want to do is look it up, click a button and have it delivered type thing. Now, on the flip side of that, the research is showing that the average person will do about 70% of the buying decision themselves by doing online research. Now, if your site gives them better research than other sites, they will be on your site longer, hence the tendency to buy from you because they can do their research on your site. And if you think of the top, like if you think of this as what are the top 50 questions I get asked as a salesperson, right? And you sit down and you just keep writing. Every time you go on a sale, what's the questions people ask me? Well, they ask, what's the price? What's the quality? What's this? What should I use? Should I use this wood? Should I use this? Should I rip the whole thing out and replace the whole thing? Should I do this? Like, they're asking you all of these questions. You end up writing a blog article to answer every question that gets asked by the buyers. And hey, presto, now all of a sudden they do all of the selling themselves. And when they do contact you, they're a better buyer. They know what they're looking for. They know how to do it. Marcus actually, when his swimming pool business, created an ebook that he would send. Then he printed it into a book for people, the definitive buying guide for swimming pools. So people could read everything they needed to know to buy a swimming pool and be super well educated. And of course, because it's his book from his company, guess whose pool they're probably going to buy? His.
Yeah, cool. So just giving more quality information and research.
Yeah, look, that's a big part of it. The second thing that I would be definitely looking at with when you're talking about the quality is this. If I, as a businessman, keep getting asked to do something at a certain price point, somewhere in my head, I have to sit down and go, holy shit, I'm getting asked to keep doing this at this price point. How can I create a product at that price point that allows me to deliver something at that price point, that because I'm getting asked for it all the time? Yep. Like when I first started ActionCOACH, people would come up to me after seminars and say, is there any way you could help us? And no, sorry, I'm too busy running my own thing. I think it took me about 100 people asking me, is there any way you could help us, before it dawned on me, I'm a bit of a slow learner at times, before it dawned on me that, holy shit, maybe I should start some way to help these people. You know, and so it's maybe, Rodney, it is actually having that part of your business that is for those people, you know, where they can do it, the budget conscious. Now, I'll give you an example of when I did this. This is a long time ago. One of my clients many moons ago, his business got a lot from classified advertising back in those days, right? Mm-hmm. And we looked at the classified advertising section, and he was a plumber, right? Yep. We looked at the classified advertising section, and there were basically 7 ads, him and 6 other competitors. Well, we worked out that the other competitors all had smaller ads. We went in there and we put in 4 ads with 4 different company names. He had 4 phones on his desk, and each of the ads were for his company, but under a different name, if that makes sense, when people would call in. And so he had 4 different brands almost. One of the ads talked about the highest quality plumbers in town. One of the ads said the fastest. One of the ads said the cheapest. Do you know what I mean? Like, he had 4 different things, and he knew that if people would call, and he knew also if he did a really bad job at selling, because they would hang up and they'd say, oh, I'll call you back. And then they'd ring the next phone because he was the 4 ads. Now, I'm not saying to do that, but what I'm saying is that maybe you have a secondary brand. Maybe you keep the current brand, and that's Mercedes, but Mercedes then brings out Smart Car and sells the cheaper brand as a different brand type thing. Yep. If you're getting those already, there might be, it's the, when you talk about things you can run through the shop, it's the kit approach. It's not the IKEA approach, but similar to that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, definitely. Because we literally just had that conversation last week, because we just signed up with High Pages, with that TV show, The Block's on, where they're renovating homes, etc., and that's getting flogged on it. So in 4 or 5 weeks, we got about 75 leads from that, but out of those 75, 70 of them would be all sort of small maintenance repair things. Yep. So we did just have that discussion about, what do we like, get a new van and do some sort of maintenance division sort of the business and take care of all those small. Or
find a guy that already does that.
Yep.
And say to him, listen, we'd like to buy half your business, and we're going to buy it for no money, but we're going to get you we're going to get you 60 jobs type thing. Do you know what I mean? You can always buy shares of companies with just by giving them the business type thing.
Yeah, okay. That's a good idea.
So either way. Now, third thing, So this is where I think you're going to get the most new leads for the right target of what you're doing, okay? And remind yourself, you can do the referrals, okay, as we talked about for the gym. You can do the blog articles, as we talked about with Michelle.
Yep.
And referrals for you, by the way, is dead easy. When someone gets their new kitchen, you throw them the kitchen welcoming party type thing, you know, get them to invite 10. I did that with a builder one time. Whenever he built a new house for people, he would ask them, he would say to them, listen, I'm going to throw you the housewarming party.
Yep.
And he would invite their friends, say, listen, we're building Mary and Bob's house, and they're going to be moving in on this date, and we'd like to throw them a housewarming party. They've given me your name and number to invite you to the housewarming party. Love to see you there. Fantastic. Now, by accident, the first one he did, he realized that he didn't bring them enough beer. So he turns up about 5 minutes before the party with 2 extra cases of beer, walks in. And of course, as he walks in 5 minutes before the party, they like, well, why don't you stay and have a beer? So he stayed and had a beer. Ended up, out of each party that he threw, he would get 2 referrals of other people.
Yeah, right.
Now, I'm not saying you have to throw the party or do that, but if I've just got my kitchen done, there is about a 99.9% chance that one of my friends is in a similar scenario or a similar situation to me and also needs their kitchen done. So what incentive are you giving me to refer my friends to you?
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly.
And if you sit down and go, you know what, we can afford X, and let's say X is $200 to buy a new customer. If someone's going to do a $25,000 kitchen, we can afford to spend $200 to get them, you know, to buy that customer. So what is the appliance that everyone wants right now that you say, hey, for every referral you give us, for every referral that comes through, we'll buy this, you know, for every referral. Yeah. Like, how do you keep in touch with your past customers?
We don't.
All right. Let me tell you why you want to keep in touch with your past customers. Referrals.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's one of the big reasons that it makes sense to keep in touch with them. You can have a newsletter that talks about how to maintain your stuff, how to do this, you know, all that sort of thing. Those people are going to move when they buy the next house. Every 3 to 7 years, people move. They're going to buy a new house. Guess what? The kitchen in that house sucks compared to their kitchen in the old house, and so on and so forth. So you want to keep in touch with all your past customers, mostly for the referral factor more than anything else.
Okay.
But referrals would be my #1 go-to strategy for what you're doing, because in people's circle or in people's sphere, if I used to go to your house, Rodney, and I've been to your house multiple times and I'm your friend, and you get your kitchen redone, and I look at it and go, wow, this is amazing. I remember how bad it was before, because like I'm your friend. I know that sort of thing.
Yep.
So I would 100% focus in on referrals.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Brilliant. All right, Sarah, who's up next?
Next up is Nate.
Nate, you're next on the list. All right, buddy, give everyone your challenges and the things, and let's go and hit the #1 question.
All right. Well, thanks for having me. And first off, to start, I've got my coach David Dowdy here. I wouldn't be here without him. Together, we've doubled the revenue, doubled the leads, doubled the jobs completed. But my new focus is on raising my profit margins, so we can actually have some more money to take home. That would be very nice. So I've identified very profitable things in the business, but my question is, how can I utilize the marketing to get more of those leads and less of the little stuff? Kind of like Rodney was saying, less of the little stuff.
What are the most profitable 2 or 3 things?
All right, so I've got 3 things. First one is exterior work. Anytime we use the tractor, digging is straight profit. Water heaters and repipe. So homes built between 1977 and 1997 are ideal because they have this faulty piping in it. And it just burst. It needs replacing. So it'd be great to get more of those leads.
Okay, so again, all three of those things, blog articles on all three of those things, right? Multiple, so that when I'm searching for that in your area, hey presto, it finds it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So where does most of your work come from today? Where do most people find you today?
Okay, so 3 places, and it's an even 33% roughly. One is networking. So my wife and I are owners, and we both do networking groups. And basically, we put $1 in, we get $2 back. So we keep doing that. Repeat business is another third, and the other third is Google, Facebook, and like water heater companies that I got training on. They put me on their website. So those are the 3.
Okay. Do you get much work from people seeing your trucks or any of that sort of stuff out on the road?
I don't get much feedback on that part, but I feel like it's subconsciously putting it out there.
Okay.
So I don't have any numbers on that part.
Okay. All right. Let's just do some very basic ones to start with, and then move through the more sophisticated ones. From a very basic point of view, okay? When you go to do a larger job at any site, I want you to knock on, or have one of your team knock on the doors of 3 houses either side and 6 houses across the street. And you're just letting them know that you'll be working across the street, and you apologize for any noise or any dust. If anything comes up, please, here's your phone number, give them the card. Here's your cell number, like the plumber gives them the phone and gives them the card and says, this is my number. If anything happens and you need us to move our trucks or anything that we're in the way, please just call my number. We'll be in the house working, but if anything comes up, please just call me and we'll be able to take care of it for you. The old knock on 6 doors either side of the road thing has worked for businesses forever and ever and ever. We literally, I mean, it literally worked the other day on me. There's a kid that came to do something for the people down the street. He was trimming, that's right, he was trimming their palm trees, because you got to do that every year, trim the palm trees. And he just came and knocked on there and said, listen, we're going to be trimming the palm trees at your neighbor's house just down the street. Here's my card, here's my number. If any noise if there's anything that happens, if we're making too much noise when we're shredding the leaves, please just call. We'll be able to, but I just want to make sure that we don't disrupt the neighborhood and that. Like, oh, wow, you're doing the neighbors. Yeah, ours need doing too, I guess. I mean, literally, it's the one that works forever and a day. Second thing, because you're looking for more profitability, I would take a look at, do you have so plumbing today is moving down the road of adding memberships or subscription basis. So the reason they're adding a subscription is so that you're a priority customer. 24-hour service, blah, 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 all of that emergency stuff. But they're adding that subscription base, and that gives it. So I would research some of the plumbing company subscription models, because that then gives you something to sell to anyone and everyone. Okay, and it also then allows you in your networking events, Nate, is you just go into a networking event and say, listen, we have a membership model, and what I'd like to do for this group is actually give all of you a 6-month membership to our program. And it includes A, B, C, D, and E. And literally it ends up costing you almost nothing. But if they've got a membership to your program, then anytime they need a plumber, well, I'm a member of, and therefore I go and call you guys first and foremost. Okay. So I'd be starting with those sort of basic fundamental things to get that. Now, when it comes to the repiping of that age group of housing, how are you targeting that group of homeowners?
So right now we're not, but I've identified those neighborhoods that are all built the same in those areas. And my idea was to send them personalized letters, be like, hey, your neighbor had this leak. We don't want this to happen to you. We're here if you need us, that kind of thing. But that's as much idea as I had. Yeah,
so look, first and foremost, how much are one of those jobs worth?
So 10,000 per story.
And are they an insurance job in most cases, or is it someone has to pay out of pocket?
Out of pocket.
Okay. So if it's worth 10,000 per level of the house, I would be doing more than just a personalized letter. Okay. I would be using, now I call it lumpy mail. It basically means send me something that is going to stand out. Don't send me just a letter, because it will get thrown in the trash the same as every other thing, right? But send me something that makes you stand out. Now you're in plumbing. What can you send me that's kind of fun but gets my attention type thing? Can you send me an old tap? Can you send me a piece of piping? Can you send me, I don't know, send me something though that is it's either in a box or in a bigger envelope, something that stands out, and offer to come and do an evaluation of my pipes. You know, just say to them, listen, you know, we've been working in your neighborhood, and this is now the 27th house in the neighborhood that's had their pipes redone. It's an age thing. You know, the cost of leak, you know, get my attention though, but do more than just send me a letter and say, hey, we're here if you need us type thing. Actually try and get my business right now would be the thing.
Off a piece of the old pipe and send it to them so they can see what it looks like.
Yeah, we cut this out of someone's house down the road. But you know, those sorts of things, Nate, it's the attention grabbing stuff that works in marketing. It's not about boring. You got to stand out in this day and age. You got to make it more than just, you know, one of my greatest ever strategies that I used in business coaching was I literally had my brother help me build these, but I went to a mannequin shop and bought 50 right arms off of mannequins. And I mounted it on a piece of wood, or my brother did it for me because he's very handy. And he put, you know, a couple of pipes stood up there, and we had engraved like little plaques with my name and phone number and email on it, sort of thing. And the engraving was stuck on the wood. And literally we sent it in a big box, and it said, I'd give my right arm for an hour of your time. Now, here's a question for you. Send out 50 of those. How many appointments do you think I got? 50.
40.
I got 50 appointments. You're not getting that. Like, you're not going to receive that. If I sent that to you, Nate, that turns up on your desk, a box this big with an arm in it, with a thing. If I've sent that to you and I call you up, you're saying, yeah, come over, let's have a chat. That's genius. Yep, you got me. You know, and that's a big part of what marketing has to be today. It can't be boring anymore. So think about those markets and how you get through to them, and you'll start doing it that way. All right. Yeah, there's so many creative ways to think about what you could send to those people. And yet real estate agents, like, couldn't a real estate agent just send me a house from Monopoly in my thing rather than? I mean, I've done it where I've stuck a Band-Aid, not a picture of a Band-Aid, but on the outside of the envelope, stuck an actual Band-Aid. Like, we opened them up and stuck it on the envelope, sort of thing. And we wrote on the front of their thing, stop using Band-Aid solutions for, you know, I mean, there's so many things you could do. Now, one I did do that I will warn you not to do, and this, especially for you, Michelle, I was doing a thing where we were selling to teachers, and I sent chalk in the post. I don't know if you all know this, but letters go through a roller system at the post office, and the chalk became white powder. That was a very big fail. We got phone calls from certain agencies. But yes, anyway, don't do that one. I've sent technology chips, like we got all old chips out of computers, Intel on them, that sort of thing. But lumpy mail, if you're going to send mail, send lumpy mail. Make it stand out. Make it stand out. All right, John, you're up next.
Fred, I've got a couple of my teammates on so they can answer specifics, but we have 50 some odd thousand Facebook followers.
Mm-hmm.
Team does a fair amount of posting and work. We see almost no return from it, from a revenue or getting a lead person on the phone. So looking for some ideas of how to get them to raise your hand. They're signed up for your workshop coming up soon. So we're excited to get some ideas of
Perfect.
how to change it up.
What is the Facebook group called, or Facebook page called?
Jacob, what's our page, Jacob?
Called the U.S. Gold Bureau.
U.S. Gold Bureau. Okay, these followers have been with you for how long? Are they? Is it growing? Like, are you getting more? Because on Facebook,
it is growing. Yes, we've had 50,000 plus for the past year. So we've been growing pretty slowly over the course of the past 6 months, mainly.
Okay, and if you have you ever done any analysis of the group? Like, have you looked at the group and seen if they are existing customers or if they're just people that like gold? Or
I believe we've done that in the past. So we have not done much of that so far, currently.
Okay.
We actually tried to do that recently. I don't know how to see of the Facebook people there, how many are my customers. So that's an open question. We don't know how.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just scrolling through some of your posts.
Yeah. Mostly very product forward.
Very product forward. Okay. So how much people that are investing in gold, how much information do they want?
Any information they can get their hands on, really.
Correct. How much information are you offering them on your Facebook page? I
try to do a post for every article that we put out.
Okay. So let me rephrase the question. Okay. If you were to put out an ebook that compared these coins versus those coins, if you were to put out an analysis of here's why these things have grown by this to that, if you want a copy of the white paper on why these are a better investment than those, the content is the thing. So content gets me to raise my hand. Content gets me excited. The product is what comes after I consume the content. So by being product forward, second thing I would do is I would start to, how many interviews have you guys done with customers that have made a fortune or done well or done that? Have you ever done interviews with customers?
We've done testimonials with customers.
Great. I would use some of those on here. So Facebook loves video. Are you doing any short video or anything on this site?
We have just started implementing short video for educational purposes that will go directly with blog articles that we have on our website. We upload those on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook.
Yeah, I'm just looking at one of your reels interviewing some old guy in a suit.
Claudio, yeah.
Claudio, okay, excellent. Yeah, see, the video, I would move to a lot more video, even if it is of a coin, right? Have you guys ever seen unboxings?
Yeah.
Okay, I would be doing unboxings. Have you ever watched the Knife Channel?
Yeah.
Or the Knife Channel, like those guys, you need someone on your Facebook that is the Knife Channel guy with coins.
I once bought 18 samurai swords watching him. I kid you not.
Yeah. So, but that's my point. I want your channel to become a channel.
Okay.
Right now it's a catalog. And a catalog's boring. Give me interest, give me excitement around this stuff. You know, look at, like, you've got some beautiful photos here of a white glove holding a coin in a thing, right?
Yeah.
Be the guy that's standing there talking me through what this is and how rare it is and what it is. Give me all that shit all that stuff that you've got written down. I want that in a video. I want, like, you've got this latest post you had here, 1 ounce silver, St. Gordon's replica round, 1 troy ounce of blah, 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 blah. Have a video of that. and guy or gal, whoever it is, but get me someone behind the camera that's standing there showing me, this is the thing, zoom in with the camera, come back out, do the whole, the videos these days have to jump every 3 seconds. Now, Gona was telling me the other day, they've gone from every 3 seconds to every 2 seconds. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to have a fit if I watch videos that change every 2 seconds. But if you watch Maverick, if you watch Top Gun 30 years ago and Top Gun Maverick now, and my kids, I tried to get them to watch Top Gun and they're like, Dad, this is the most boring movie ever. And it's like, Top Gun Maverick, it changes shot. Like, it's like, you know, it's like you're going to have a heart attack watching it. But I want your video, like a nice TV area. It doesn't have to be spectacular. It doesn't have to be amazing, but give me a video around this stuff, not just a static, and create personality in this whole thing. I would like to see unboxing videos when, like, how many of your customers store with you versus ship it to them and they keep it themselves?
90% we ship it to them, so most of them get it.
Do you ask them to do an unboxing video? Okay, so on the outside of your boxes, you put a sticker that says, it tells them the hashtag, right? It tells them what to put on there. It tells them, hey, if you unbox this and do this hashtag, please, you know, tag us, do this as you unbox it. People love doing unboxing videos. I challenge you to go on and look up hashtag unboxing and not get enthralled with some of the stupid shit that people do out there opening boxes of stuff. It's amazing. But when people do it, because remember this about social media, it's not about what you put up about you, it's what others put up about you. So it's like, you know, Nate, when he's doing a plumbing job, should be taking lots of photos and lots of videos so that people have stuff to put up. Like if I buy a car, I want them to take a photo of the car with me there and post it on their stuff. But then if I've got the photo, I can post it up too. One of my buddies who's a car dealer, I said to him, hey, how do you present the car to people when they come in? Oh, well, you know, we put a bow on it. Do you take a cover off? Like, do you do a video where you rip the cover off and they see their new car? Oh, shit, no, we don't do that. Do that. Make it exciting, like this sort of thing. When you ship to people, what goes in the box to surprise the customer? Is there some candy? Is there a chocolate? Is there a... what goes in there, John?
More marketing material.
More shit to sell me other crap. Right, okay. Surprise me with something. Send me a box of what's your favorite candy, or what, you know what? Send me some seized chocolate coins, for God's sake.
That's right. Chocolate coins is great. Yeah.
You know, do something so that when I unbox it, I'm excited about this thing. You know, they're spending how much? What's the average transaction value?
20,000.
How much?
20,000.
Well, then fucking send me 2 boxes of seized candy coins.
I actually send them gifts before their goal gets there because it takes me a week to ship it for the money to clear. So we send them books and stuff before. Yeah.
Right, but in what you're sending to them, make sure that there's some excitement, and so that when the box arrives, like tell them when you send them that gift that, hey, when it arrives, we're looking forward to seeing your unboxing video.
Nice.
You know, get them, but get them doing stuff. But the biggest thing about your social media right here is offer information for me to raise my hand. Give me ebooks, give me a webinar to attend. Give me something where I can learn more, understand more. And when you do the book, guys, and we'll do this in the workshop too, when you do the book, put a photo of the book up there or a video explaining the ebook that you've just written, right? Put a video explaining this is the ebook I've just written. If you want a copy, write the word ebook below. Don't just give them a link to it. Make them write it. Then you DM them on Facebook. You message them and say, hey, I'm going to email you the link. What's the best email to send it to? Now you've got my name, you've got my email. So you put me on your database, not just on Facebook. You got to one of the biggest jobs of social media is get them onto your database, not just your social media. So give me a reason every week. Like every week, I want to see one piece of content that allows me to give you my email. It can be a webinar. It can be a recording of a webinar. You know, we just finished a webinar. In fact, interestingly enough, twice as many people will ask for the recording of a webinar than will ask to actually go on the webinar. Because, oh shit, I got to go at a certain time. That's boring. That's annoying. So I would go that other way. But yeah, content that you give me, and again, the content you create a video gets turned into an ebook, and a blog, all that sort of stuff. Do you have a blog on your website?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and is the blog articles? Let me just have a quick look. There's a lot of content in your blog articles. So on your Facebook, are you leading me to the blog articles?
We do post that that do a like small, like compact version of the article in order to try and get them to go to the landing page of the article to actually read the full thing. We're currently in the middle of a launch, so it's been pretty product-based for the past 2 weeks.
Got it. Yeah, product-based though, make it stop with photos, get to video. Facebook loves video. Make some, you got to get a character behind all of this. Who's the character? You can employ someone, or you may even already have the character on staff, but you could use multiple characters on this whole thing. You know, gold could be Bob and silver could be Mary, and you know, different people could have different things. But one of our clients in the UK, these gals are amazing. The Tillets, they created their own YouTube TV show now 7 years ago with their mom trying on all of the clothes. I did an interview with them. It's on my YouTube. Just look up Tillets, Tillet, about how they took their tiny little retail store in the middle of nowhere and turned it into a 4 million a year. Now it's over 12 million a year retail online by just doing a TV show every week with their mom trying on the clothes.
Nice.
So yeah, where is the US Gold Bureau TV show?
We do not have one.
Yeah, but that's what I would be suggesting. If you want people coming on this whole thing, then I would be suggesting creating something that talks to people, and people love to learn.
Videos in the vault, unpackaging, or pallets of gold coming in, or the doors opening, like even
shit
just
like
that type of stuff.
You could do amazing reels, because like you guys have all three marketing angles you can do. You can do head because it's smart for your investing, blah, blah, blah. You can do heart by buy this for your grandkids, you know, buy something that, you know, you're a good grandpa because you bought your kids a coin type thing, you know. Christmas shouldn't be about toys. Christmas should be about gold coins. You can do all of that great stuff there. And you can do wealth shit, like it's like you can do the you know, the reels. You just need to hire a young kid that's a producer of TV shit that just loves doing this stuff and put them out there making dumb, fun stuff. But yeah, the opening of the vault, some of that stuff will just go, like, it'll just blow up. Blow up. Yeah, you thought you were rich. Look at this shit. Yeah, that'll be fun. All right. Who's next? Sarah. Thanks, guys.
Last but not least is Thomas.
Thomas, thank you for your patience, my friend.
No, I've been taking a lot of notes, even off everything that you've been giving to them. So
yeah, that's why I like doing 6 of them, because there's different angles for different things. And it's, if you try and do just one, you sort of go down one long rabbit hole. So yeah, give everyone the summary and give everyone your the big question.
yeah, so I own a job called real estate, and I do all the work. That's probably the biggest issue that I have. Short rundown is I've been pretty successful with selling and buying homes. And next month when I open my brokerage, I'll be adding the property management service back to it. So the current brokers that I work with wouldn't allow the property management. I think it's a huge opportunity that's there because people do it at a very, low quality, and they charge the same amount for everything. And to market buying and selling against all these, top brokers with, unlimited marketing budgets, it's very difficult to compete with them. So everything that I do has to be very smart. So most of the time I get my referrals from Business Network International, BNI. So that's a really quality source for me. And then word of mouth. I have a high conversion rate with anybody that I talk to. So anything that I get, I usually close.
Okay. So target audience for you is what type of buyer, what level buyer, etc. And what is the market that you're in? Tell me what city, what state?
Right. So I'm in El Paso, Texas, and I operate anything, El Paso County. We have a high military community that's here. I'm former military. My wife's retired military as well. So we have a lot of people that come in, they buy a house, and then they get, stationed at another place. So that is the property management community that I'm trying to reach there.
Got it. Okay. So number one question you want answered today is what? By the way, I just have to tell John and Jacob and Randy, well done. Your targeting follow ads have already smashed me on next to my emails right now.
I was gonna apologize when you said you went to the website. I'm like, you'll be seeing a lot of me.
I'm literally sitting here looking at United States Gold Bureau ads on my email thing right beside me. So well done. Sorry, Thomas. I just had to tell them that their ads are working.
No, that's great.
Me already.
So mainly I need to get the word out to the most amount of people, but specifically to, people that have bought a house, previously, and then are now looking for the property management service. So I just need to get in front of people that own homes that are probably absentee owners. Okay.
All right. So I'm not sure if you know this, but I had a business doing exactly this in Texas and sold out a few years back. But yeah, this is the exact business I was in. So let me ask you about where your current, okay, let's go back 2 steps. What is the value of an average house there, just so I'm getting a picture in my head of what we're looking at?
Average house in El Paso, $220,000 for a sale.
Okay, $220,000 for sale. Average rental?
$1,500 to $2,100.
$1,500 to $2,100. Okay.
Yeah, which makes it's a good area for people to invest in. So you have a lot of absentee owners that are just buying and renting them here. But the thing is that everybody raises the rents so high that this low income community of El Paso can't even afford the rents. So what happens is they raise the rents up really high, and then they have huge vacancies.
Got it. Okay. So education wise, let's just go back 2 steps, just for everyone's benefit. The approximately 80% of people try and manage their property themselves, right? That's what they do. They think it's expensive to pay. What are you at, Thomas? 8%?
I'm doing 8% initially, and I'll plan to upgrade to 10%. And also, initial leasing is half a month's rent, so figure $750 to $1,000.
Yep. Okay. So most people seem to think that it's the 8%, and the number one thing that they don't realize is that the property manager will make them the extra 8% by actually maintaining the right price point of managing the property, if that makes sense for everybody. So it's important to understand that. Okay. So when people are, if you look at all of the radio ads, all of the other stuff for the other big guys like Homevesta, all of these others that run radio, run TV, run all of those sorts of things, the great thing that they're doing is sending people to the web to search for property management in your marketplace. So when you are going to launch, you're going to launch this when?
This next month, October.
Okay. I would be looking at multiple. Okay, so have you purchased the lists yet of the out-of-state owners, first and foremost? Have you purchased any of those lists?
No.
Okay, so first thing we would always do is we would purchase the out-of-state owners list, okay? Because that out-of-state owners list is very, very easy for us to then start targeting those people with phone calls, with emails, with direct mail. And if you're using direct mail, Lumpy mail, not, send them something from El Paso, for God's sake, just send them a badge or something that just sort of says this is where it's at, but help them understand who you are. So get in front of that list first and foremost, okay? The second group is those who are being transferred because they're immediately looking. So I would be very, very much going back to what we said with Michelle about looking at what is the top search items, what are the things that they're doing, and all that sort of stuff. Do you create any videos, Thomas, at this point?
Yes, I do. I do lots of videos, lots of content on there. I have a low conversion rate for anything social media though. So it's a low quality lead for me.
Okay, so but here's the thing. The reason they're a low quality lead is you're not giving them information to educate them as to what they're trying to buy. I want to see an ebook of some sort that is the top 10 things you should think about when hiring a property manager. Okay, I want you to create something that educates the buyer rather than, the 17 questions you should be asking. This, like, if you create that content that gives me something to download or something to learn, because if I'm a military person, I'm getting transferred out of town. I've probably, in most cases, never rented my house out before. I've never done it. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it. So that's why they're a low conversion, because they're calling you trying to learn how to do it. Okay. Type thing. The 10 reasons why you shouldn't manage your own property. It's the military person's guide to renting your house out when you leave town, that sort of thing. I want, because if you give me the knowledge, I can become a good customer. If you don't give me the knowledge, I don't become a good customer. Okay.
Got it.
Hand raised, yeah.
Would you charge for the ebook?
No.
No, that has to be.
I don't charge for information. Okay. The reason that what we're doing with information is getting someone to say, hey, I'm interested. And by emailing it to them, we get their email address type thing. That sort of thing.
So it doesn't have to be too in depth. Just
no, an ebook is going to be about 7,000 words.
Okay.
5,000 to 7,000 words is a good ebook. And again, right now you can use either Bard on Google or ChatGPT and have them write it for you.
Okay.
It's so simple. You want to add a bit of personality to the front by putting an enclosed letter or stuff like that, but all of those sorts of things are out there, and definitely important to do. So I would be educating them, Thomas, as first and foremost to do that. Now, I wonder. I don't know the answer to this, Thomas, but is there a way to get the list of those who get transferred? If they're being transferred, they're buying what? So I look at the cycle of buying to know who are they buying before me. So when they get transferred, what's the top 4 things they do?
There's a site that we usually use called Military One Source. In order to be connected into that, then they're requiring you to pay to be a part of it. So you can be a preferred realtor, for example, on the Military One Source. So you maybe get notifications, or just a benefit is they have you listed.
I'm just thinking though of other companies that are not that would be a great referral source for you. So like, I'm going to call a removal company, right? So I would go to every removal company in town and say, hey, listen, if someone's moving and they're going to rent out their house and you refer them to me, there's $200 in it for you for every person that signs with me. Do you know what I mean? I would go and find, like, what are the 4 or 5 things they buy before they buy you, or at the same time they're buying you, and do that. Like if I'm buying if I'm getting paving done in my backyard, I'm building a patio sort of thing, then there's a good chance I'm going to buy a barbecue next, or do you know what I mean? It's like, just think of what are the things they're buying just when they get transferred, they're going to buy A, B, C, D, and E.
Probably housekeeper, carpet cleaning type of thing, because they want to make sure that the house is good before they leave, type of deal.
Great. So go and talk to those people. It's always important to get as many other people that are in a similar field to you. And you just say to them, hey, listen, I'm looking at this as a two-way street. If we pick someone up that's moving and they need a carpet cleaner, I'm looking for it. And that's how you introduce yourself to these people, right? You don't go in there saying, hey, I want you to send me business.
Sure.
You call them up and you say, hey, listen, I'm a realtor. When people are moving out of town and they want me to manage their property for them, a lot of the times they're looking for a house for someone to do their carpets. I'd just like to come over and meet with you guys, talk with you about that, and just see how you guys do what you do, and see if you're someone that I would refer to people.
Right on.
So then they think, oh, this guy's really nice. He's probably going to bring me some business. And when you're there, you say to them, by the way, in reverse, if you know someone that's moving out and they want the property managed, there's $200 in it for you for every person that you send to me.
Right.
Okay. And if you've got 100 people on that list, and you just keep in touch with those 100 people, every time that they send you someone, you send them $200.
Yeah.
Michelle, you raised your hand.
Yeah, just a quickie. In addition to the ebooks, what's your thoughts on surveys? Like taking a survey to get the analysis.
Surveys. The old, what type of entrepreneur are you? What type of teacher are you? You could be doing those sorts of things. Anything that gets people to raise their hand is really important. We love using surveys as lead generators. We, in fact, advertise surveys as lead generators for a lot of our business, especially ActionCOACH. I know we have 2 for ActionCOACH that literally bring us hundreds of leads every month. That just you wouldn't fill it in unless you're a business owner looking to grow, sort of thing. So surveys are a definite, can be added to the list of things. Whew. Dang, gang, we covered a lot of ground here today. A lot of ground. A lot of different types of businesses, a lot of different types of marketing challenges, a lot of different things. So yeah, we'll put this video back into the Billionaire in Training group. So that'll be a great way to get, if you want to go back and watch it again or listen to your segment again. But yeah, thank you for all being so open and sharing your business and your challenges. And I look forward to hearing your results when they come out the other end. Gona, can you just put up that link to the workshop? We are doing that workshop in a couple of, I forget when it is, whenever it is. If you guys want to come along, it's a 2-day thing. We're going to record it because we're going to sell it for $2,000 recorded version. But if you guys want to attend live, it's $2,000 as well. All right. Great job. Thanks, gang. Be well. Talk to you all again soon. Oh, there it is. Thanks, Gona, for the. There it is, November. Bye, everybody. Look forward to seeing the results. And dear US Gold team, I look forward to your ads not being on my feed in 30 days.
Good luck with that, Brad. Good luck. We'll talk to you. Yes. Bye from us.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brad.